Jai Jai Ram.
Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram Om. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram Om.
Ram Jai Ram. Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram Jai Ram. Jai Jai Ram.
Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram Om.
Shri Ram Jai Ram. Jai Jai Ram.
Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Hari Om to everybody.
Hari Om.
Pranam Swamiji.
Pranam,
Namaskaram
pranam.
Swamiji.
Namaskaram, namaskaram.
Pranam Swamiji.
Pranam, pranam, pranam. Pranam, pranam, pranam. So, what is it to be shared today?
Now you said you will continue with the individualist universe.
Eh?
You said you will continue with individualist
Prayer
universe.
and
That's a
self-effort.
Gita quotation.
Individual to
Prayer and self-effort.
samam sarveshu bhuteshu.
So, that was over, no?
Bhuteshu.
You said you'll continue with it.
Yes.
Sarveshu Bhuteshu.
Samam sarveshu bhudeshu.
The closure of the topic. Prayer and self-effort.
And
Self-effort.
Self-effort and Guru
Divine
Kripa.
grace.
Divine grace.
self-effort and Guru Kripa. That also we touched upon it, no?
Both are.
The moment when we are awakened by a spiritually evolved soul, whom we consider him as our Guru, we should be very clear right from the beginning that it is not to the body or the physical form that we are adoring, it is for the ideal that is represented through that form. He or she is also like anybody else. As far as the physical structure is concerned, but we are trying to find out ourselves, what is it that drew us to her? Say, for example, their expansiveness, love for everybody, their simple and humble nature, their ready to serve attitude, and reveling in a blissful state, always feeling contented. These are some of the signs by which, we are attracted to that particular one. But as we keep on moving closer, we somehow forget about this and we get attached to the physical form. So the moment we try to connect ourselves with the ideal represented by that Guru, we revere the form and at the same time keep up the ideal within us. Because through that body, that ideal was kindled, made known to us, touched. That is why we revere that form. And then, what does the Guru do? Guru is asking us to turn within. And he is behind everything, he has been with us. It is not that Guru, or God is an outer factor. So the outer Guru comes and says that he is within you. And the moment we start moving toward that goal, we start recognizing the grace of the Guru inside. So it is not that, when we go and see outside, if we don't have this proper mindset, we will not feel that we have been the recipient of the grace. That is why Papa emphatically declares, not only Papa, all declare, that Guru's grace is ever pouring. Only when we try to connect ourselves, we become aware of the Gurus. He is always pouring. He has no condition, no. People who worship me, people who condemn me, people who belittle me, he is equal to everybody, So he is pouring his grace, but unless we tune ourselves, so many channels are there, unless we tune ourselves through that equipment, we will not get connected. So our sadhana is only to get ourselves well tuned so that the connection between us and him is established. Then we know he has been pouring. We can call this as our self-effort because we have not realized that he is prompting us to do. And the moment we start realizing that even the very prompting to know him has come from him, then the question of seeking Guru's grace will not be there at all. Even the very act of seeking him is blessed by that power. This is the truth, but we have to realize. So Guru's grace and self-effort. So until such time, until we graduate, until we lift ourselves from the sense of individuality to a little higher realm, whatever we do, we can term it as self-effort. Later on, we will know that even to have the self-effort, we need him first. Not that he can come only after some time, no. At that time, we were not aware that it is he who is propelling us to do it. Here we have to do the pondering, deep. These are all some of the words by which we try to go within. It is not merely an intellectual exercise. How do you know that it is not an intellectual exercise? The sense of a pleasant feeling wells up in our heart. If it is an intellectual exercise, when we go out, we will forget. What we want is an experiential exposition, not an intellectual understanding. It will help us, no doubt. Even people who don't have any idea of this, they have scaled the heights without any so-called, because why? Then we realize whether you know or not, whether you are literate or not, whether you are qualified or not, he has been with you right from the seed stage. So that means he doesn't need any condition. There is no prerequisite that is needed for spiritual progress. The only condition, if at all we name it as a condition, is to realize his presence within. That is why it is named as God realization, not God attainment. He who is already there is realized. Now, when we are talking, he is there in the form of life force. He is there in the form of intelligence. He is there in the form of consciousness. So that the me and mind will not assert, I am talking, I am doing, that will not assert. And when we go through Papa's various teachings, we also find that this expresses in the form of God's will. Every moment of his activity, he will always say God's will, Ram's will. He named it as Ram. So that means the sense of doership is totally away from him. It gives us an answer. So long as the sense of doership remains with us, he is a distant reality. So how do I get over that? There are some indication given by various gurus, including Papa. But every one of us has to draft out our own way. They are giving us the directions, but we have to chart out our own. If reading of their teachings are enough for us, all would have realized, So many Mahatmas, they have come, they have given out their experience. Very few who are able to travel. So that means, because then later on Papa used to say that each one is unique and therefore each one's path also has to be unique. Gathering all the details from so many of these realized souls, we try to bring out anything in our own way, suiting to our equipment. From 1920 to 1922, when Papa was 38 years old, 1884, no? So 1884 means 36, no? 36, 37 years old. The turn came. Okay. Prasad. The turn came. Give them the brochure. Not necessarily. So when he was 36 or 37 years, he was also leading an ordinary life. He was a married person. He had a child. He was involved in business, textile, what do you call it? What is that? Dyeing of the saris or so on. And suddenly things have started moving in a declining way. So he was passing through severest stressful period. At that time, he cried when all the doors, according to him, were closed. He cried from the bottom of the heart, and then intuitively he heard, "Trust me, you will be free." And then he pursued it. And we are connecting up one more incident, which he has explained in some other article, some other context, that he had the darshan of Mahatma Gandhi. In 1920, he happened to pass through Mangalore. There he has mentioned that the moment he saw Gandhiji at a distance, something inexplicable he could experience, and that was the first touch to spirituality. And Gandhiji was a great votary of Ramnam, and his Ram was also universal Ram, Atma Ram. So he started chanting Ram, 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 Ram. He switched over to Qadar, started spinning. And in 2022, he got established that he has been with me, he is with me. He is behind every thought, every word, every deed. And in 1922, to have it concreted in his mind, God prompted him to leave everything and go. Nothing to fall back upon accepting God and remembering him through meditation and chanting. So that was the instrumental cause for the birth of Ramdas, Swami Ramdas, from Vittal Rao, that was his previous name. So this is his background, when we are thinking about background. So everything was, he went inside. He was meditating, he was having a very clear concept about while chanting. He was very clear about whose name he was chanting. So it was connecting him to the core of his being. Not that he followed somebody. He was very clear whose name he was chanting. Our problem is we have been told to chant and we have not applied our mind whose name we are chanting. So when even after 10 years, 15 years, we find some joy is there at the time of chanting, but after the chanting, we are back to square one. The me and mine is intact. I hardly bring in God in any picture. When I go to ashram, when I go to temple, when I see Mahatmas, something positive develops. But as soon as we are back home, we are back. There is no change. In his case, it was not. So that is why when we go through the biographical sketches of masters, not from what they talked after reaching, because they have reached that stage. We have to go to them when they were in our stage, what all they did. Not when you become a PhD holder, but when you were in first standard, second standard, 10th standard, what did you do? Then I will be able to connect myself. Otherwise, sentimental, emotional level connection will be there. In the realistic form, it won't be there. So when we go to, say, for example, Papa's or Puja Mataji's life, then we understand, yeah, correct. They were also passing through. And what did they do? When they got the guidance from God, in some cases it is from within, in some cases it is from without. Why do we say this, The same Guru has met so many people, but he has not been able to touch and kindle. Even your naming a Guru is also a relative relationship. If the Guru is absolute Guru, he should be a Guru for everybody, So that means when we establish our relationship with that Guru, we say he is my Guru. Others will have reverence towards him, but they don't treat him as Guru as you have treated. So Guru is, you are relating, It is related, it's a relative relationship. And so many things become clear to us now. When you are asking about Guru's grace, normally people are tend to, they feel, you serve the Guru physically, you get no. It may have some impact, no doubt. But the real benefit will come only when we link ourselves with the ideal he represents. And the moment we establish that relationship with that Guru, we become aware of his grace automatically, which is always pouring. Because he has no vested interest. His love for all continues, whether I love him or not, whether I treat him or not, whether I worship him or not. So these are all some of the thoughts that came up when this is asked. Is it becoming clearer?
Sure, Swamiji, yes. Yes, Swamiji. Blessed, we are blessed.
And connecting that to the sloka in Bhagavad Gita, Samam Sarveshu Bhudeshu Tishtandam Parameshwaram. He is there in equal measure in everybody, in every creation, not only human being. Samam Sarveshu Bhudeshu. So we read out the other day, Papa's, you remember? Everybody has forgotten. Huh? Asking, Everybody has forgotten.
No, Swamiji, the speak, Srinanda spoke the first page. The microcosm is the macrocosm that you taught.
Microcosm is the macrocosm.
You got it?
Yes, Swamiji.
Now it's clear, na? Can you see this? Can you see this?
No, yeah.
Can you see?
Yes, Swamiji.
So we will again go through that word. So many things will become slowly, gradually will come clear to us. Human life is a rare acquisition. Its purpose is to know the Atman, by knowing which you have nothing more to know. Everyone must realize that the divine is within him or her. God is within your heart. You are his embodiment. You are he, but you do not know that. There is a veil of ignorance separating you from God. Remove the veil. First God, everything else comes next. The microcosm is the macrocosm. The individual is the universal. God dwells in every being and thing, however small, in its entirety and perfection. Samam sarveshu bhuteshu. Think not in terms of individual, but always in terms of universal. Do everything for the sake of God. Then your ego sense will vanish. You will realize you are the universal spirit, changeless, eternal, infinite. This is your goal. So we don't have to think that God is available to a few people. Bhagavad Gita and Papa clearly mentions to us that He is equal in every creation. We have forgotten that also we did not ask for this. He made us to forget. Now He is slowly making us to remember Him. Let us catch this opportunity. We can take it that He now feels we are fit enough to undertake this journey. Previously, He did not reveal to us because we were not fit. So why did I forget all these years? Because my equipment was not ready at that time. So nowadays, when we hear a person talking something about this, we are immediately enthused, touched, kindled, awakened. Then that means, slowly the time has come for the flowering. So we can all take it now that we are the blessed ones to come in contact with realized souls and to hear about our original nature and start in our own way. Because of the baggage we are carrying, probably ours will be half a mile speed, 1 mile speed, like that, no?
Swami, no sound.
No sound.
Audio.
We can hear you, Swamiji.
No?
Yes, Swami. We can hear you, Swami.
Yeah?
We can hear you.
We can hear.
We can hear.
Okay. This is very important, this
We are
aspect.
unable to hear.
Unable to hear.
No sound, please.
No, uncle, you have muted. All others are able to hear.
He can't hear, even if you shout.
Oh.
Hari Om, can you hear? Can you hear?
It's from me, it's from me.
All can hear.
Oh. So many are there, everybody is hearing. Please. So this is very important, very, very important. If you don't hear, you have to tell us, we will try to correct ourselves.
We cannot hear.
Uncle, something is wrong with your
He cannot
phone.
hear, Shruti.
You can't hear.
He cannot hear.
Ah.
He cannot hear. Someday I'll message it. I'll message him there.
You do with your phone.
My phone, my laptop is there. Someday I'll send it from there and come.
Phone se kar lo.
My phone it will disconnect it. I can't disconnect.
No, he's
So this is important. He is in everybody. He has been with us. We have not recognized him, we have not remembered, we have not realized him. So we start from our me and mine. We start everything from our me and mine. Whereas this me and mine was not there when we were in the form of a seed in our mother's womb. Spiritual science, like material science, is scientific. It is not a dictum or a dogma our masters wanted us to believe. Everything is scientific. So the first cause. When we go to the first cause, then we slowly try to realize. That will definitely make us know that we have not caused our present birth. We have a role there. Because of our previous vasanas, because of our unfulfilled desires, cravings, infatuation, and so and so. They have been the inputs for our sense of individuality, that's all. But as far as the life is concerned, we have no role. So he is the ultimate cause. And our job is to realize him. And we also realize that not only that he is the ultimate cause, he is the great provider, providing us everything to us. Even now, if every moment of our life is there only because of his bounteous gifts through Mother Nature and society, his creation. So bereft of him, we don't exist at all. So what do we do to remember him? So Nama comes with a time. But nobody will be able to chant Nama throughout their waking period. 5 minutes or 10 minutes they may chant at home. Then, professional duties, household duties, social duties, they take away his time. But even then, we have been told, doesn't matter. Try to remember him through any activity that you are involved. From the smallest to the grossest. That is what is called purity of life. Where I think always in terms of people, I have been given, I have been given, I have been given. Not that I have done, I have earned, this is mine, that is mine. Slowly, we try to understand that when we came with nothing. That is why when we leave, we have seen so many deaths. When they are cremated or buried, they don't take anything. If it is mine, it will come with me. So then we know that whatever he wants us to possess, whatever he wants us to indulge, he gave us an opportunity. He made us to forget him. He made us to remember him. And the moment we start remembering him, our mind wells up with a sense of fullness, contentment, peace. Anything that you look, connects us to him. The specs we wear, We remember when there was no specs. We are sitting on a chair. When there is no chair, we are handling through this laptop. Everything is getting activated because of the electricity. Anything. The building, the light, the fan. Previously, we thought, to remember God, we have to go to a particular place and do something, a particular. Now it is not like that. I have to just remember him. Through your creation, you have given to me. That's why I am enjoying it. Even the very language, I did not bring. Even the quote we are now showing, when there is no printing technology, how you brought about first language, then printing technology, then paper. So each and everything connects us to him. If we just take it as an intellectual exercise, you are right. We will forget the moment the session is over. Probably that is all happening in our case. But when we react to events and individuals, this will be tested. The moment you get up, you will see that things are kept in an orderly way. You have recognized its use. You have recognized that God has given to you. If you go from the room, you will see that everything is switched off. So in every act, Papa used to say, all our actions will be free from slipshod, clumsy, irregular, half-hearted way. This is the benchmark. So that it doesn't stay at the intellectual level only. So this we have to keep on watching. Whether it stays at the intellectual level, whether it is percolating into my thoughts, words and deeds. I fail, I forget. I should plead with him. Nothing wrong. He will accommodate us because even when we were not acknowledging him, he had not left us. Why he had not left us? We can put it in this way. He has not made us to know about him. So the cause is him only. He has not made us to know about him. So up to 38 years, if Papa had not thought about him, the indwelling reality did not say, because you have ignored me for 38 years, I will not come. No. Even when apparently he was unaware, he has been with us. So now as a bhakta, we can definitely say that was also your making, You made me ignorant of your existence within me, and now you are slowly opening up the aperture and I am slowly starting. So, if at all, why I did not, you are only responsible. I am not responsible. Bhakta turns the table towards him. That is the truth also. That is why now we understand, that is why in Bhagavad Gita, in one sloka, he says, Sarvasya cha aham hridi sannivishtam matta smriti jnanam apohanam cha. Smriti, jnanam and apohanam I am. Remembrance, knowledge and forgetfulness I am. So he made us to forget him. He made us to forget him. And then we are now trying to rationalize that also. Even if he had made any effort, probably I would not have understood. Suppose you are taking a class of a 11th text to a 5th year boy, he will not be able to connect himself. So he will take it up only when he reaches there, So that is, we take it like that. Previously we were not mature enough to understand. We have not become receptive to understand. So he did not reveal himself. He made us to feel that our life has started from us only. And he causes so many things by which slowly, when we feel that slowly our equipment is becoming receptive, he will make us to get in touch with a great soul. His words of wisdom might slowly pour in, or his very presence enthuses us. Then we try to go within. And the real guru from outside will say, go within. The peace that passeth all understanding is within you. Previously, when we were reading it, intellectually, that's all. It was not going deep. We will be able to quote. We will be able to reproduce. That is the only result. But now, what am I talking? It should go along with my experience. Though not fully, at least something of it should be there. So this is how we check Guru's grace. This is how we check our efforts. Our efforts is not only to plunge in activities as directed by him, and also to know that he is behind that palm. And he gives us, because we have trained ourselves in thinking in terms of individual, he gives us the feeling that I am doing sadhana, I am a sadhaka. He allows that. And the sadhana, as it gains momentum, galloping, then he will make us realize even the very act of doing sadhana is caused by him. Initially we may not know. I am doing Ramnam, I am doing bhajan, I am doing swadhyay, I am doing seva, all those things will come. And one important point we wanted to share in this context, based upon our struggles, When Puja Swamiji expressed to Papa, after he joined on 26th January 1949 as Ananta Shivan, and then later on plunged himself into various types of activities, setting right certain accounts in Udyogashala and whatnot. Suddenly one fine morning, this is what he told us, one fine morning he realized 8 or 9 months have passed. What am I doing? Previously I was involved in some other activities. Here I am involved in some other activities. That is not the purpose for which I came. So he went and stood before Papa and told him, I have not come here to do activities. Papa, oh, what do you want? I want to lead a contemplative life. Very good. Go to Rishikesh. Take sannyas. Carry on. Ramdas will give you clothes. You can adopt sannyas there. Ramdas can also give you name if you want. So Puja Swamiji told us, I was taken aback. I did not ask for any sannyas. I was not planning for any sannyas. I only wanted the core of thing. Through contemplative life alone, I will get otherwise one activity, another activity, another activity, another activity. So he went to Rishikesh, and then arrangements were made through so many people. He got a isolated group. Papa was very particular that don't join any organization. This is very important, no? People who are serving also should remember this. Don't join any organization. Stay separate and carry on. Adopt sannyas. So we now put this somewhere near 1950. You must have gone to Rishikesh by April end or May. And after doing what has been asked by Papa, he wrote a letter that, yes, after sannyas, we have accepted the name Sachidananda. And what he wrote, we have a faint remembrance, but we could not lay our hands on that letter. But Papa replied, that is that we were able to. In that letter, July 1950. So he must have left this ashram in June and traveled on those days, to travel from Kanjangad to Rishikesh must have taken 3-4 days minimum. He has to go to Chennai, from Chennai, TT, Grand Trunk Express, and then from there he has to go to Delhi, and from Delhi another train to Haridwar, then from Haridwar to Rishikesh. So it must have taken 5-6 years, minimum, and then got settled down, and then, so we can calculate June end, he must have left. Now let us see what Papa says. It's very important now in this context. Everybody can read that letter?
Yes, Swamiji.
Yeah. 11th July 1950, beloved Ram. Papa addresses everybody as Ram, no? Beloved Ram. Ramdas got your loving letter of 3rd instant. We were looking forward to it. Glad that you have taken the new name Sachidananda and assumed sannyas. You know now that your life is entirely dedicated to God. Previously partially dedicated, no? Feel conscious of this every moment. This thought itself will help you in realizing the goal. That my life is entirely dedicated to God. Of course, our hearty blessings are with you for your attainment of self-illumination. Do sadhana in a disciplined manner. Be regular in your early morning meditation. Avoid tamasic influences, either from within or without. Do not get involved in any external work, however exalted it may appear to be. Concentrate on the sadhana. We will complete that and again come back. Occasionally go and have darshan of Swami Shivanandaji. His company, even for a short while, will be a source of inspiration to you. Keep before you the central truth that God dwells within you and you are His manifestation. Let your mind always dwell on Him. Let Ram Nam ring on your lips whenever you are not doing any meditation or reading. You may reduce reading to the minimum. Learn by heart stotras that elevate your mind. Be free and cheerful like a bird and feel assured that the divine is at your back and you are sure to reach the goal. Love and blessings, Ramdas. Many a times we have read this. But when we took up this, that He is equal in everybody, and He has been with us right from the moment the seed was formed until it became a fully grown person. And at the same time, all these years I was not receptive, I was not matured enough to understand how now He slowly opens up. Through my outer guru, He opens up and makes me aware that your life is intended for God. You know now that your life is entirely dedicated to God. Having known this much, why is it that we are not? So there, the next line. Any activity that we do has got a knack of dragging us to the sense of individuality. So in order that we get stabilized, we should be free from that activity. He says, do not get involved in any external work, however exalted it may appear to be. Concentrate on the sadhana. My mind may be telling that I am doing ashram work. There is no personal interest involved. Still it's an activity. Unless I have evolved myself, unless I have insulated myself, unless I become impervious, to be carried away by so many people will say so many things. Even very your act of loving may be misinterpreted. And somebody immediately you lose your temper, Just start thinking this word. Do not get involved in any external work, however exalted it may be. And that 8 months or 9 months, later on, Papa mysteriously pulled him back. But that was the starting point. Whereas in our case, the starting point is always mixed with activity. And during the activity, however much we try, we slip. And our mind will justify that we are right. The moment mind justifies, I have not dedicated myself to Him. So unless and until I get the balance, insulate myself fully, I must have some discipline by which I withdraw. So people like us who are involved in ashram seva, we cannot go away now. So the only way is to withdraw every now and then as much as possible, so that we are reminded we have come here not to do seva. We have come here to realize His presence within. And now He has also initiated here to go in for Mauna session. No? We had it on the Guru Purnima day. The tangible gain is, on that day we are withdrawing everything from our activities. Exclusive. Previously, when we were talking about Mauna session, we thought it was one among the disciplines. Now we realize it is not one among the disciplines. It is a deliberate attempt given to us by God to withdraw from every activity and then try in your own way something of the spark that is within us. The purpose is not to simply close our mouth or not to talk. The purpose is to have a glimpse, spark of that presence within us. And with a prayer, make me aware of the spark throughout. You are making me to involve tomorrow. Let me not lose the balance. And again, I go in for. And every day, we have 15 minutes now Mauna session in our routine also, ashram routine. Apart from that, each individual also may try to. Since we cannot take a decision like Swamiji took in 1950, sorry, not Swamiji, Papa made him to take a decision. And when it is intense, we will say, I am leaving, that's all. And where are you going? Everything has changed now. Rishikesh is different, everywhere it is different. So then we try to understand we have to better withdraw ourselves from it in our own way, not following anybody. So every day we withdraw for some time, every month we withdraw for a longer time, and then suppose if you are too much with activities, we go for a month or 15 days, where we are not known, where we are nobody. There we go and stay. And then try this. We should be very clear why we are going. So this point we wanted to bring it out of Swamiji's. Because previously when we were reading, this dimension was not becoming clear. But now when we go through it again and again, how does it help me in going through this letter? It is becoming very clear that activity has got a knack of connecting us to our me and mine. Though we start with good intention, ultimately we also slip, like the snake and ladder. We try to reach some stage, it tumbles down again. One word, one thought, one act, and it has got a cascading effect, I say something, you say something, like that, keeps on going. Your mind, my mind, and then finally I forgot why I have come here. Because my mind keeps on justifying the stand I have taken. So sadhakas who have been given the privilege of doing seva, first they should realize that they must, and those visiting devotees, they also should realize that if they don't withdraw from their present field of activities, even for a short time, the progress will not be much. So like we are doing in ashram, every hearing devotees may also deeply think and carve out a time for themselves. Every day, 5 or 10 minutes or 10 minutes, 5 minutes, okay. Then on occasional holidays, they try to spend more time. Even in their own place, they can have a break, half a day, go somewhere in a secluded place, take some books to read, and then start going inward and trying to tap out all resources for knowing, realizing His presence within, and come back, join. So then, one more thing is there. Papa later on will assure us that when we make one step, He will take so many steps. So that means everything we don't have to plan. This much if we plan and try to do that, in his own mysterious way, he will take us further. So this is the message today. So once again we will read that letter. Ramdas got your loving letter of 3rd instant. We were looking forward to it. Glad that you have taken the new name Sachidananda and assumed sannyas. You know now that your life is entirely dedicated to God. Feel conscious of this every moment. Please mute those who are not. Pradeep ji, mute. You know now that your life is entirely dedicated to God. Feel conscious of this every moment. This thought itself will help you in realizing the goal. Of course, our hearty blessings are with you for your attainment of self-illumination. Do sadhana in a disciplined manner. Be regular in your early morning meditation. Avoid tamasic influence either from within or without. Do not get involved in any external work, however exalted it may appear to be. Concentrate on the sadhana. Occasionally go and have your darshan of Swami Shivanji Maharaj. His company, even for a short while, will be a source of inspiration to you. Keep before you the central truth that God dwells within you and that you are His manifestation. Let your mind always dwell on Him. Let Ram Nam ring on your lips whenever you are not doing any meditation or reading. You may reduce reading to the minimum. Learn by heart stotras that elevate your mind. Be free and cheerful like a bird and feel assured that the divine is at your back and you are sure to reach the goal. Anybody would like to say anything?
Swamiji, after reading this letter, two questions are coming to my mind.
Questions she's got in mind after reading this message. She has to.
Two questions are coming to my mind. Two questions.
Two
Swamiji.
questions.
Go ahead.
First is, how does one identify which thought is elevating the mind?
How does?
One know which thought is elevating the mind.
I am not clear.
How can one identify
How can one identify?
which stotra is elevating the mind?
Which stotra is
Which sotra will elevate? Nobody can guide you, only you will know. You keep on going through. In one stotra you will get aligned. For example, suppose you are a regular comer of the ashram. During our arati time, there are so many stotras. Kayena vacha, manasa indriyairva, buddhyatmanavad, prakride svabhavad, karomi adyat, sakalam parasmai, Srimat Narayanaayedi samarpayami. Tvameva mata, cha pita tvameva, tvameva bandhu, cha sakha tvameva, tvameva vidya, dravinam tvameva, tvameva sarvam mamadeva deva. Then the last one, Jajya stalihe manajaya maje, tyatya stalihe nijarupa tuje, mi te vido mastakacha tikani, te tuje sadguru payatoni. Like that, when he makes us to associate with this, there are so many shlokas. So far we have been chanting only as an ritual. When somebody is leading, we also join, that's all. Now, we are really entering, what does it mean? And the meaning should get aligned with us. Then we know that this sloka, automatically it will come. We are all blessed to have so many stotras, so many shanti mantras. Sahana bhavatu, sahanau bhunaktu, sahaviryam karavavahai, tejasvinamatiitamastu, ma vidvishavahai, om shanti shanti shanti. Anyatha sharanam nasti, tvameva sharanam mama, tasmad karunya bhavena, raksha raksha maheshwara, raksha raksha maheshwari, loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Mysteriously you will be in touch. Suppose you open any text, you will get it. Not from outside. Outside we have all heard so many decades now. Now we are trying to understand. That is why Papa's that word is very important. Learn a few stotras. That will elevate your mind. So when you are trying to think about it, you will find. Just now, day for yesterday, when we were talking about Samam Sarveshu Bhudeshu, immediately he connected up with his words in Thus Speaks Ramdas. It is not at all a planned one. Why did he make us to go to this? There are 700 slogas. On that particular day morning, why did he ask us to go to these particular slogas? Samam Sarveshu Bhudeshu Tishtantam Parameshwaram. 13th chapter, 28 slogas. As soon as he gave us this, we came here, opened the book, opened the Kindle, went to Swami Ranganathanji's Gita book, then tried to find out, and then go through the whole thing again and again, took a printout, and by the time everything was over, 3:30 was our satsang was nearing, then we thought the purpose must be to share. And as we were sharing, suddenly he said, I have already given you this. Oh, in Thus Speaks, you go to the first page. We are repeating this again to make it to confirm that His grace will definitely lead us. So you start chanting. You start going through stotras. At one particular stotra, He will make you stop. It can be in anything. Don't worry.
Thank you, Swamiji.
Okay.
My second question.
Ah.
Papa says that God dwells in you and you are His manifestation. But why do we forget that He dwells with everyone and we all are His manifestations?
That's why we said,
what should come first? See Him within us or in others? Sorry.
We are forgetting because, not that we are forgetting, He made us to forget. Because He feels we are still not got over the lower primary school standard. When we move to the upper primary and then to the higher secondary, He will slowly give us more text. He will allow us, and by the time we enter into college, He will give us some fair idea. So similarly, at that time, He did not make us to become aware of His presence. And now He started telling, in Swamiji's case, God made him to undergo so many trials. From his school days, so 15th, 16th year, to this 14 years, He made him to go through so many trying moments. In the sense, he was unclear about the purpose of his life. That was his depression, not because of any other factor. He was tormented by this question. What is the purpose of this life? I see everybody is self-centered. I cannot go along with that life. Getting into a job, earning, thinking about me and mine. I don't want to set up a family, identify myself within that family. So what is the purpose then? People are doing only this. They get educated, they get a job, they settle down with their life, they carry on. So he could not fit himself to that. So that means then what is the purpose? Okay, that way I cannot go. But there is no other way which I can understand. So he was, passing through. And that is why he even tried to end his life. Not because of anything, because he was not aware of the purpose of the life. So God made him to, that was the instrumental cause. And that drove him from so many places for 14 years and finally made him to land in Papa's lap. So Papa wanted him to understand that. In that letter he says, he is within you, you are that. Previously, if we were told, it will be only a statement from a person to person. When he watched Swamiji for 1.5 years, and when he knew that slowly, he is moving from secondary to higher up, now he can understand these words. So God made Papa to utter these words, so that at that time, suppose as you said, at the moment, suppose we are say, somebody comes and says, Aham Brahmasmi. To us, it is only a word given by somebody, that's all. We revere that person because he is a good person, but it has nothing to do with my life. I have not tuned to myself to understand the Mahavakya. Everything is there. Now Google Baba is giving everything, But what does it mean that we have realized? Are we moving toward that? No. Ayam Atma Brahma, Prajnanam Brahma, Tattvamasi, Aham Brahmasmi. All these are all the stages. These are all the revelations. And these revelations, we have got it now in the moment you type out Mahavakya, everything will come out. Just because we read it, can we elevate ourselves? Think. So far, we have not been aware because God is our actuator, our creator. He knows us. We are not ripe enough to understand those words. So now he is slowly revealing and watching whether we are receptive. And every time when we feel that it gets punctured, our enthusiasm, that is why he said meditation, slotras, little bit of reading, darshan of a Mahatma, and Ramnam, whenever there is a gap. So he gives him a package of sadhana and warns him that he should not get involved in any activity unless he is in a position to transform every activity as service to God. That is the maturity. That is the schooling. To transform every activity, because he is there in everybody. I should know that. So transform all my thoughts, words and deeds as a part of my sadhana. Then I don't feel punctured. Tempo is kept up. Until such time, I have to now and then withdraw. The best word will be, I should be impervious, to the wranglings of my mind. Because activity will definitely bring, for no fault of us. There will be rights and wrongs, there will be reaction, there will be a response. Oh, I never meant like that, he is talking like that. Finish, we have lost the balance. What we have been trying to develop, for the past 1 month or 2 months or 1 year, somebody says something for no fault of us, if we are charge sheeted, we lose. We don't accept that God is now putting us on a test. Because that maturity we have not reached now. When we stop grumbling and complain, and as rightly put by Eckhart Tolle, when I don't ask why this is happening, that's the best way, he said. The person who does not say why this is happening, he has reached the goal. Accepts everything as they are. So more about it day after tomorrow. Hari Om. Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om.
Shri Ram Jai Ram Shri Ram Jai Ram
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om.
Jai Ram.
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om. Hari Om to everybody. Hari Om.
Pranam Swamiji.
Hari Om.
Pranam Swamiji.
Hari Om.
Pranam Swamiji.
Pranam.
Pranam Swamiji.
Hari Om. Pranam.